Labitat è l'Hackerspace di Copenaghen. Aperto nel 2009 da un gruppo di studenti appassionati di tinkering e hardware, oggi ospita maker e veri nerd alle prese con oggetti interattivi e idee strambe.
I was just surfing around, and then I one day found the website of Labitat, and they were organizing a trip to actually go to see the Hackerspace in Malmö and how they were set up over there. So I said, "Oh, can I come?" Sure, no problem. So we met up, and it was before this physical place was actually there yet.
I always like to take things apart to see how they worked. So, but I still once in a while I still had the curiosity on how things worked and how they were, what they looked like inside and stuff like that. But it wasn't until 1.5 years ago I started coming here, because I didn't know there was places like this. I really liked the idea that I could come here and learn something new, apart from what I was actually planning on doing here. Then I could see someone sitting next to me working on some electronics project with these Arduinos that I had no idea what they were. I didn't work that much in electronics before, and then someone said, "Ah, you can do this with an Arduino." And
I think it's mostly sharing and giving access to everybody to do stuff themselves and make stuff. The membership here is free; doesn't cost anything to be a member. But of course, to be a member, you have to contribute in some way.
And it's really nice that instead of you have an idea, but you need like a little piece of something, and since you can't go out and buy it, then maybe your idea has to die. But since you have access to a 3D printer, you can print that little piece and make your project work.
I think I wasn't there at the very beginning, but it's my impression that it was people that were involved in Linux and computers, and they wanted to do more than just sit there with their computers. So to have a space where you could do that and where you can put your tools.
There was a focus group of people who thought about what are we going to do with this? What is this going to be? Because it was extremely new for all of us, and it's really contradicting how many things are done in Denmark, that all this freedom, almost anarchistic way of having and creating a space.
I think it reintroduces freedom, freedom of choice, freedom of action, freedom of sharing, because intellectual property and the financial markets are growing extremely strong all over the world, and it's to some extent necessary, because some of the investments are gigantic to make the first product, so you must be able to sell 100,000 units. The maker movements, the grassroots movements, and they call them Fab Labs or Makers or Hackerspaces, they have many different names, but what they all have in common, I think, is they counterbalance these gigantic global units that will be exciting, lift up the heart, open the imagination, get back to human interaction.